Hello, Amy. It's so good to talk to you today. I have enjoyed working with you, and I just wanted to talk to you about your story and what it's been like working together, your success story. Before we jump into things, I'd just love to have you share with me and the world just a little bit background intro information about you. Who are you? Who is Amy?
Well, that is such a loaded question. I love that. First and foremost, I am a mom, truly. I've got 4 kids, and my husband and I ranch here in central South Dakota. So that really is woven into the fabric of who I am. I've been a writer for since high school, since I knew what being a writer meant or was. Um, and I guess I'm just really at the core of things, a woman trying to figure out who or what I want to be when I grow up. How's that?
I absolutely love it because for so many years I was like, I would tell people, I would literally say, like, I just don't know what I want to be when I grow up because I love so many things. And I think you're a manifesting generator too. I don't know if we've ever talked about
Just a generator,
just
but
the generator. So
yep,
getting into a little human design there,
yep,
but like we love lots of things and that's just our
yep.
personality. So once we know that about ourselves, we don't we can just let some of that weight or that, shame or guilt of wanting to and needing to do all the things go off of us. So I'd just love for you to share, when we first started working together, where were you and where did you want to go?
Yeah, I was not in the greatest place in the sense of um, I just I felt like I was making excuses and I wasn't as accountable as I knew I could be and that I wanted to be. Um, I'd also really been conditioned or allowed myself to feel conditioned um, to tie my worth to what I was doing or how I was being compensated for what I was doing. Um, and that was probably one of the biggest drivers for digging into some healing, like more than just reading a book or, talking to a friend, like really getting to unravel kind of
Mhm.
some of the stuff, some of the junk. So that's what I came into this wanting. And I really did get a lot more. I got all of that. And at the end of the day, I got a lot more of it, even if sometimes I wonder like what I'm actually doing.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. And isn't it interesting how our brains connect that worth to, what we're doing or like maybe a monetary value. And as someone who you're an entrepreneur in many areas of your life, right? I even think like
Right.
moms like you, like that's a full-time job. It just really is, especially with 4 kids and the ranch. And you've got some other kind of ventures that you do as a businesswoman. And it's been powerful to watch you grow in those. And it's just been a really amazing space because when we let go of that worth, like you're talking about, we do have more energy and we can make a bigger influence. And so, what are some of the things, if you'd like to share, that you accomplished during our time working together?
I really have been more present. Like I've been able to be okay with wherever I'm at and whatever I'm at. And that whole we mentioned the human design piece, right? You're a manifesting generator. I'm a generator. Um, just being able to acknowledge who I am and be like, huh,
Mhm.
there's nothing wrong with who I am. I don't need to change it. Like some people are meant to do the same thing for 40 years, right? That's their thing and they're excellent at it and that's what drives them. I'm kind of a ping ponger. Um, and that feels really good. So even if
Mhm.
other things are like going on, just that knowledge of accepting that it is okay. There's nothing wrong with me because I like to wander around and think while I eat, right? I actually do a lot of great work while I'm having my lunch wandering around the kitchen. Or it just helped me, you helped me, and the time that we could genuinely talk to each other helped me quit judging myself
Mm. Mhm.
against these narratives that really weren't mine.
Oh,
Right?
thank
I
you.
had just adopted what I thought other people expected, or I took on what other people expected as being what I expected of myself. And none of those things were true, which is why I often felt so conflicted
Hmm.
because I was trying to do and be things that I wasn't.
Yeah.
So being authentic it's been good, even when it's challenging to be who I am, if that makes sense. I've learned that it's okay.
Thank you so much for sharing. And yeah, it's so, again, so interesting how our brain works, how the human brain and mind works. Because not only do we create our own narratives, we hear them from someone else, right? Like my
Mhm.
husband, like, can't you just be happy in what you're doing? But I'm actually happy in doing other things.
Right.
But coming into that truth and that authenticity to say, this is who I am, and how do I make who I am work for me and the whole design of things, the whole my vision, my values, my goals. Um, and when we can know ourselves, it's just so powerful. And it's been fun watching you do that and really diving in deep to who you are, who you authentically are, because you are authentically amazing. I love you. I love being present with you. I love reading your writing because it just lights my soul up. And so you definitely have a gift, which is amazing. So,
Thank
what
you.
would you say your favorite part of us working together was?
Truly, it was the unfiltered, unjudged conversations. Like being able to, not being able to, scheduling, like scheduling time to just talk,
Hmm.
and in this judgment free zone where we could we could start at one place and talk and work through things, and by the time we'd get done and be like, whoa, that was a
Hmm.
180. Like, kind of walked myself all the way through it, just being able to have a conversation with you, because I know that you hold space. Like, you held space for me.
Hmm.
Um, no matter what. I think we started working together, or while we were working together, maybe Jay, my husband, broke his ankle, right? And it just, like, my world flipped upside down, because here I'd been leaning into maybe formalizing some of my writing
Hmm.
work more. And then instead, I was running the ranch essentially because he couldn't do anything.
Wow.
Um, and you were just there with me in that whole process. And I began to look forward to that purposeful time to just
Hmm.
talk through stuff. And I
Yeah.
don't think we give ourselves that enough. So I appreciated it.
No, you're so welcome. Thank you for sharing that. And it really holds deep this conversation we've been having up until now as far as knowing ourselves, right? Because when we know ourselves in the times that, yes, are challenging and we're doing this discovery, it's when the times get really hard that we can lean into ourselves, right? We're not broken. We don't need to be fixed. I tell my clients that all the time. I'm like, you're not broken, right? There's nothing wrong with you. The challenge is, the thoughts we're having and then the results that we get from that. And so, leaning into that authenticity is huge, and having that space to, because you speak so eloquently, it was always beautiful to watch our conversations unfold, because yes, just speaking out loud, you guys, whoever's listening, like, find someone to speak out loud to, even if it's just yourself in a voice memo or something else, because you get so much clarity in doing that. So I'm so grateful to be able to hold that space for you. So I'd love to know, what is the thing you would say you are the most proud of accomplishing in our work together? You've shared a little bit about, coming into your identity and your authenticity, but is there anything else you'd like to share about just that feeling of accomplishment, or where you are now versus when we started working together?
I think when I really reflect, what I'm most proud of is not only being able to acknowledge success, but also being able to acknowledge and even embrace the suck, right? Like when
Hmm.
I kind of hit some, I call them dips, right? If I'm in a dip before, I would have judged that really negatively and held on to it really tightly, and just sat in the dip. Um, and I don't do that. I recognize, whoa, you're in a You're in a dip.
Mhm.
This feels crappy. Like, feel it and then work through it. And for me, that really has been a tremendous shift, right? Like that there's the adage, you can crap your diaper, but you don't have to sit in it all day, right? Like
Yep.
I think of that often after our time together. It's okay to be in a rough spot.
Mhm.
And I
Yeah.
never thought that before. I never thought it was okay to struggle. Like there was something wrong with me and I had to fix
Mhm.
it. So
Mm.
that has been a huge, really huge piece for me, is just being able to be okay whether I'm up or down.
Awesome. I'm so happy for you and that growth that you found in that area of just this stability, right? This knowing that I'm here no matter where I am, that presence, that's really powerful. So, Amy, I love your writing. I would love for you to share anything you want people to know about, like what you do, who you are as a writer. If people are interested in finding you or reading your content, how can they find you?
Thank you. Well, if you're on Facebook, you can find me as the Writing Rancher. And on that page, I've got our websites and stuff. You can also go to bloomranch.net. And that really gives you a picture of all the stuff that I do, I guess, in addition to writing, ranching, lodging. All the good stuff is all right there. So thank you.
Awesome. Absolutely. I'm so proud of you. It's been such a joy working with you. And if you could just share one thing about where you see yourself and your multiple business endeavors going from the support you received from our coaching, what would you say?
Oh, I think the one thing that I see is possibility, right?
Mm,
I don't know that I see any specific quantifiable things, right? I'm not going to tell you, oh, man, $1 million
mhm.
writing career or whatever that is, but I can absolutely see, hey, it's going to be okay. Like it's all going to work out,
Yeah.
even if it's not working out how I planned. And there's so much more out there than what I can even picture,
Hmm.
right? So you absolutely helped open that up for me. Like there's more out there than what I can see. And when I get out of my own way, it's all right there waiting. And I appreciate that.
I love that. Thanks for sharing. And you're so welcome when we can kind of just lay down that fear or that uncertainty and lean into the trust of what is or what might be or what could be, right? Be dreamers.
Right.
Um,
Right.
our energy shifts and we start to create influence in ways that we were like, whoa, how did this connection happen? And that's just the most beautiful way I love to connect with people. So I appreciate you so much. And thank you so much for coming to share your story. And we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks for having me. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.